Alright, what's going on, guys? I gotta start this video off with a little bit of an unfortunate announcement, but it's extremely necessary. Today's picks are gonna be a little different than usual, the format, how everything's done. The reason for that is because, again, overnight my computer reset, my microphone reset, everything just got wiped. Again, I don't know why it keeps happening. So since that happened, I lost all my notes, all my scores, had to spend several hours re-downloading things, getting my mic set up, and now we're at a point that if I were to do predictions the way I usually do, that would ensure that I do not have enough time to get a video done on either Thursday, Friday, or Monday for when I'm in vacation. So I just want to get that out there and clear the air. I'm not trying to be lazy today, but I would not be able to sleep well at all on my trip if I knew that there was a day out there that I didn't get you guys a video. So things are gonna look a little different this week. Anyway, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video and welcome to my week 10 NFL predictions. Last week I went 12-1. It's pretty impressive, isn't it? The only game I got wrong was Buffalo. However, my overall record now on picks for the year is 81-55. Literally 3 weeks ago, I think I was negative. I've been on fire, baby. Let's keep it rolling. Anyway, before we get into the video, a couple of quick plugs. One, head over to gfuel.com, use code WyattzWorld, save yourself a discount on any G Fuel products. And two, if you're 18 years or older, head over to Prize Picks, the daily fantasy app where code WyattzWorld will match up to $100 of your first deposit. Remember, always play responsibly, and let's get into the video. Alright guys, so here we are at the pick'em sheet, and again, sorry if this seems lazy, this is not my intent, this is simply just what I have to do today, so let's get started. So our first matchup is actually on Thursday night, and it is Atlanta at Carolina. I'm gonna roll with Atlanta to win this game. I think Carolina has looked good, they've shown some more pop in their offense, but there's just too many inconsistencies and questions. Who is your starting quarterback? Who is your number one running back? What is going on there? I know Atlanta is not perfect in those categories at all, but somehow, some way, they're finding ways to win games. I see Arthur Smith scoring multiple times with his running back and Marcus Mariota using his legs just enough to keep drives alive, enough for Carolina to lose the game. Hey, I just heard news that I was actually right on the Cam Akers prediction there. He almost went to Carolina. I wasn't crazy. All right, next game, we are moving on to the Sunday morning Munich, Germany game. Seattle at Tampa Bay, or Seattle versus Tampa Bay, however you want to say it. Look, guys, I have no analytics to back me up on this. I am saying just what my gut is telling me to say, and that is Tampa Bay is going to win this game. Tom Brady is not going to Germany to lose. Last week's game was a fire lit under Tampa Bay. I think they're only going to lose maybe one or two more games the rest of the year. This is where their story is going to unfold. Plus, if I need to say something to make myself sleep better about the pick, I do believe that Tampa Bay has a better roster than Seattle. They've just got to find ways to use it because they clearly do not have a better coach than Seattle. But all said and done, Tampa Bay is going to win the game. All right, moving on to the next game. It is the game everybody has been waiting for, Minnesota at Buffalo. Listen, I am simply not driving 15 fucking hours to predict my team to lose. Am I aware that they could lose this game? Abso-fucking-lutely. Josh Allen might not play, but they're still not dead in the water. Trey White's probably going to be back. Milano and Poyer have chances to play. We know Keenum and Diggs can play together well. I believe my boys can still win this game, but I do hope Josh plays, sincerely, for two reasons. One, Buffalo's really going to need him going against a team like Minnesota, and for two, it's for Minnesota's sake. If Minnesota beats a Buffalo team without Josh Allen, we already know what the fucking media is gonna say about him. But hopefully we won't have to worry about that because the Vikings aren't gonna win that game. This is the one day every 4 years I hate Minnesota! All right, moving on to the next game. It is Detroit at Chicago. Chicago's gonna win this game because they're the better team and they've been playing lights out. They've been losing, but they have been playing like winners. Detroit has literally the worst defense in the league. Fields will fry him on his legs and with his arm. And the more I look at the Chicago trade for Chase Claypool, the more I actually like that trade because we no longer can say, hey, if Mooney's locked up, Fields doesn't have any options because he does. Claypool's good. He's a douchebag, but he's good. I'm happy you won last week, Detroit, because you're not going to this week. Next game is Denver at Tennessee. Tennessee by a dick hair. If you want me to make this as simple as possible, I am picking this because Mike Vrabel could outcoach Nathaniel Hackett blindfolded and underwater. Denver has a great defense. Their offense looks like it's starting to maybe click, but Vrabel will shut down Nate Hackett and Derrick Henry will break down that Denver defense. Like I said, I don't have scores, but Tennessee will win the game. All right, moving on, we got Jacksonville at Kansas City. Well, I guess the home field advantage really is strong this week, ain't it? Look, I expect Jacksonville to fight because they are fighters and they're a group of hard fighters, but they're not going to beat Kansas City, not in Kansas City. That offense is way too good for that defense to stop. There's going to be 4 to 5 guys who are potentially going to have 10 receptions. Like, Andy Reid is going to bulldoze the Jags. However, I do want to say I expect Travis Etienne to have a good day. He'll have 100 yards and a touchdown or 2. Buffalo and Kansas City's run D are just like each other. They started off strong and week by week they're breaking down. However, like I said, that won't matter when Kansas City ultimately wins the game. Next up to the plate, we got the Browns at Miami. I'm taking the Dolphins. Cleveland, hang on. You got one more week till Bill Cosby comes back. Look, I don't hate the Browns, and I think this is a winnable game for the Browns, but what I don't like is the Browns secondary versus 2 top 10 wide receivers. That's not a good equation. If Cleveland thinks they're going to win this game, then Myles Garrett needs to be physically present in Tua's face every single play, and he's got about 2 seconds to get there because that's all Tua needs for his receivers to get open. Cleveland will make some stops, but they're not going to make enough of them. And as bad as Miami's defense has been, as bad as I think they are, all they're going to need is one takeaway with an offense like that to make a game decide. Up next, we got Houston at the Giants. Giants are going to win this game like 20-10 or something. It's going to be slow. It's going to be boring. But I'm never, ever going to pick the Houston Texans. It's funny because this is a game that the old Giants would have lost, but not the new Giants. Not the Giants coming off of a bye with Brian Dable. They'll bully Houston around with their defense. I expect Dameon Pierce to have an awful day, sadly. But unfortunately, the Giants offense, I can't ever predict high-scoring games with them because, I mean, look at them. You got Saquon Barkley. That's really it. All right, moving on, we got New Orleans at Pittsburgh. Listen to me. I know when to pick New Orleans, and this week you're going to want to. I know this is in Pittsburgh. I know TJ Watt is back, but I also know that this game is going to be heavily decided by the run, and New Orleans has 4 running backs that are better than Najee Harris right now. Both defenses are going to score a touchdown here. These quarterbacks are disasters. Turnover machines. It'll be an interception fest, but it's going to come down to who runs the ball better. And yes, I know what you're thinking. Oh, but TJ is going to be able to stop Kamara. I agree, but I do not think TJ is going to be playing at 100%. Why in the fuck would he come back and play at 100% and further risk an injury for a 2-6 team? Wouldn't make sense. I do not think Pittsburgh's going to pull this out. New Orleans is going to win. All right, next up we got Indy at Vegas. You mean to tell me there's a human being out there who legitimately cares about this game? Because I refuse to believe it. I'll give this one to Vegas, I guess, because it's at home and they can win at home, and both of these teams are the absolute dumpster fires of the league. But I don't have a good score. I'm guessing 3-0. Seriously, fuck that game. I'm not watching a snap of it. I would rather put a golf tee under my toenail and kick a wall as hard as I possibly could than watch one snap of that game. I would rather listen to Mike McCarthy eat a Thanksgiving dinner than watch one snap of that game. Vegas will win. And moving on to the next game, it is Dallas at Green Bay. Speaking of Thanksgiving, Mike McCarthy's got to be excited. Dallas is going to pummel them. They're going to beat the shit out of them. This is no new environment to Mike McCarthy. You think he hasn't been preparing them for this all week long? I bet you Green Bay's defense will start off fine, maybe for 2 or 3 drives, but then they're going to start to get broken down. That Dallas offense is going to be too much. That Dallas defense is going to shut down the little Green Bay offense that there is, and Green Bay is not going to be able to do anything but curl up in the fetal position. There is fundamentally no part of the Packers that is better than the Cowboys other than Aaron Rodgers, and in recent weeks, even that has been a questionable statement. You guys know it's a real bet. I have to perm my hair if Aaron Rodgers throws 10 picks this year. That is going to probably happen. Shit. All right, moving on. Next, we got the Cardinals at the Rams, and I am taking the Rams. I refuse to pick a team of screaming children. All Jalen Ramsey needs to do here is just shut down D-Hop enough. Not every play, just shut him down enough to win. And all the Rams need to do is force 1 3-and-out. Because as soon as that happens, the Cardinals sideline is going to explode. Normally, I would say Stafford's elbow would be a factor, but this game, I seriously don't see it being one. They're playing a shit defense with what can be a very incoherent offense. And if I'm just being honest, Arizona, you guys might not be the worst team, but you're one of the most unlikable teams currently in the league. All right, and ending Sunday night with Sunday Night Football, it's the Chargers at the 49ers, and this is going to be a terrible game for the Chargers. The 49ers are going to kill them. 49ers are a juggernaut right now, dude. They got the best defense in the league and by far the best run defense in the league, which eliminates Austin Eckler from the equation. You flip over to the Chargers, they might not have either receiver again, so that leaves Josh Palmer. And defensively, the Chargers are not ready for this. CMC, I think Mitchell's going to be back. George Kittle, Debo, Ayuk. Good luck, Chuck, because you guys are fucked. And finally, Monday Night Football, the final game of the week. It's Washington at Philly. I mean, it's not even close. I'm taking Philly here. How could I take Washington? Because they got Chase Young? That ain't enough. Nobody's beaten Philly. Matter of fact, the only team in the league right now that I think I would take to beat Philadelphia is San Francisco. There's just nothing you could say that would convince me Washington is going to win this game. Something else I've noticed about Philly, by the way, I don't think they've battled one significant injury this year. Must be nice. I would say the only way Washington actually can win this game is if they just don't let Jalen Hurts off the bus. Should be a dominant piss pounding. Alright guys, and that is going to be all for my Week 10 NFL predictions. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and again, I'm sorry if it seemed lazy. I promise this is a one-time thing. I'm just on a time constraint. But if you guys did enjoy this video, you already know what to do. Comment, like, subscribe, turn that bell on. I do my best to post on this channel every single day. With everything I just said, I'm going to hop off and get this edited so you guys can watch it on time. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday, and as always, I will see you in the next video.